All right, so you're ready to dive into this whole blogging thing, maybe even like make some money from it?
Yep.
Good thinking. We've got a whole stack of articles here, everything from blogging for beginners type stuff to, the expert level advice. Right?
Yeah.
Like how to craft content that doesn't just get people to read it, but turns them into followers.
And it's wild how much blogging has evolved. We've gone from those online diary days to blogs being like a core part of a business plan.
Totally, yeah.
It's not just sharing your thoughts anymore. It's about creating a space that has actual value,
It's like your own little online magazine almost.
Exactly.
But you get to be the editor-in-chief and the head writer and like sell the ads, all of it. But before we get ahead of ourselves and start planning our victory lap, let's back up a bit. Content. Content is king, or so says one article.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Content is what sucks people in, what makes them come back for more. But it's not just about like throwing words onto a page. It has to grab them. It has to teach them something. And most importantly, it has to be something your audience actually wants to read.
And that's where things get really interesting. One of the articles highlighted how how-to posts are insanely popular. It's because people are always looking for answers.
Yeah.
Right? Solutions to their problems.
It's like that aha moment you're after, right? Where you give your reader that missing piece, that one actionable tip, and it helps them solve a problem.
Totally.
That's how you keep them coming back.
And keep those page views going up, up, up. But how do you even get those readers in the first place?
Yeah.
That's where SEO comes in to save the day.
Oh, yeah.
One article, I think it was called Blogging Done Right, basically said that ignoring SEO is like, I don't know, painting a masterpiece and then locking it in your basement. No one's ever going to see it.
It's true. It's like you're speaking this whole other language, the language of search engines. If you want people to find your content, you've got to optimize it. Keywords, headlines that grab them, and something called topic clusters, which I have to admit I had to read about a few times.
Okay, yeah, topic clusters. Break that down. That sounds like something from a sci-fi movie.
It's way simpler than it sounds, I promise. It's basically just creating a bunch of blog posts all about the same general topic and linking them together. This tells those search engines, hey, this person, they're not just messing around. They know what they're talking about.
So say someone wants to learn how to bake sourdough bread.
Okay.
You wouldn't just have one post about it. You'd have a whole series. Right. Choosing the right flour, baking times, troubleshooting if it goes wrong.
Exactly.
The whole 9 yards.
And then you link those posts together, right? And it builds this like web of information that's actually useful for your readers, and it looks really good to the search engines. It's something that Aspiration Marketing, they're all about this, by the way.
Yeah, and their blog is crushing it. And that actually reminds me, visuals, let's be real, a giant wall of text, even if it's amazingly well written, can be a little intimidating.
Yeah.
One article mentioned that stuff with visuals gets a crazy amount of views.
Yeah.
Like almost 100% more.
94%. It's huge. But it makes sense. Our brains are wired for visuals.
Yeah.
They're easier to understand, way more engaging, and they add a little personality. So yeah, break up those text blocks, high quality images, infographics, memes, if that works for your brand.
A well-placed meme can do wonders, trust me. But speaking of branding, let's switch gears to something that I think is often overlooked, building a following. It's not enough to just, create great content.
Right.
You need people to actually read it, share it, and keep coming back for more.
It's like you could have the best restaurant in town, the most amazing food, but if you don't have any regulars,
right,
those tables are going to be empty.
And then who's going to eat all the leftovers,
Yeah.
Not good. So how do we build that loyal following?
It all starts with being consistent, Like imagine your favorite band, they just drop a new album every few years with no warning. You'd probably lose track.
Yeah, totally.
And it's the same with your blog. You got to be there for your readers, show up on a regular schedule.
So no more like bursts of inspiration and then crickets for 3 months. My bad.
Hey, it happens to all of us. But getting yourself an editorial calendar, that can be huge.
Okay.
It's like your content roadmap keeps you on track so you can deliver. Aspiration Marketing, they live by that, by the way.
Do they ever?
One of their articles mentioned that they go back and actually refresh their old blog posts at least twice a year.
Wow. See, that's dedication. They're not just letting those old posts fade away. Which, now that I think about it, is actually brilliant. Like, why let all that hard work go to waste when you can just spruce it up?
Exactly. It's like giving your blog a fresh coat of paint. And speaking of awesome, how about we talk about turning your passion into profit?
Okay, now you're speaking my language.
Because wouldn't it be amazing to make some money from your blog, right? One article I read, they talked about this case study. This person made like 50 grand in 5 months. Just from affiliate marketing.
50 grand, 5 months. Okay, teach me your ways. But how does affiliate marketing even work? It's not like one of those pyramid scheme things, is it?
No, not at all. Affiliate marketing is basically you recommending stuff you actually like, products and services you believe in. And if someone buys something through your special link, you get a little cut.
Okay, so it's all legit then. No, like, shady business going on.
Totally legit. The key here is to be transparent, though. Your readers need to know you're recommending this because you actually think it's great.
Right.
Not because you're trying to make a quick buck off them. Authenticity is key.
Got it. Keep it real, keep it authentic. So affiliate marketing is one way to monetize. What else is out there?
Well, you could create and sell your own stuff.
Our own stuff.
Like digital products, things like online courses, ebooks, templates. You could even do like a members-only library of content.
Oh, fancy.
Right. It's a great way to like level up from blogger to entrepreneur. You're not just sharing info anymore. You're packaging your knowledge into something people pay for.
I do like the sound of that. But before we get ahead of ourselves, pricing out our online empires and everything, let's backtrack a bit. We were talking about analytics earlier.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah.
Google Analytics.
Google Analytics.
This thing is like your secret weapon to blog domination.
Yeah.
Seriously, it tells you everything about your audience. Who they are, how they found you, what they're doing on your blog.
It's like having X-ray vision into your readers' souls.
Pretty much. You see which posts are doing well, which ones are, not so much, and what topics really get people going.
It's all about the data.
And that information is so valuable because then you can tweak your content, do more of what works, ditch what doesn't.
Okay, so we're armed with all this data. We're creating awesome content, raking in the cash. Life is good, right?
Almost. There are a few, classic blogging mistakes that can really trip you up. One article called them avoidable mistakes, which I thought was kind of funny.
I mean, at least it's avoidable, right?
Exactly. Like you're not doomed to fail or anything.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
What are some of these avoidable mistakes? And how do we, not make them?
One of the big ones is forgetting about your audience. I know, it sounds obvious.
Right.
But it's easy to get so caught up in what you're doing that you forget you're writing for other humans.
It's like that thing where you go to a party and, like, only talk about yourself the whole time.
Yes, exactly. Don't be that person. Your blog posts, this shouldn't be one-sided monologues.
Right.
Engage with your readers. Ask questions. Respond to their comments. Make it a conversation.
No more treating our blogs like our own personal diaries then.
Exactly. Another mistake. Not spending enough time on your headlines.
Right. First impressions.
Huge.
They've got to be good. I think it was the article called What Makes a Good Blog Headline or something like that. They really broke down why those attention-grabbing headlines work.
It's all about piquing their interest, offering them something valuable and making sure they know what they'll get if they click.
And no clickbait.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Clickbait might be tempting, but, it's a recipe for disaster long term. You lose people's trust that way.
And speaking of trust, let's go back to building that loyal following we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, because those loyal readers, they're not just reading your stuff. They become, like, your biggest fans.
They're your cheerleaders.
Exactly.
And maybe even, paying customers at some point.
Exactly. And how do you get those loyal readers? Consistency.
Right. We talked about consistency with, like, posting on a regular schedule, but I feel like it's got to be more than that, right?
It is. It's about showing up the way you say you're going to, staying true to your brand, and always, always giving your audience something valuable.
So, like, if my whole thing is healthy recipes, I'm not going to suddenly start blogging about, I don't know, my rubber duck collection.
Unless, I don't know, you find a way to tie those rubber ducks back into healthy living somehow, I guess.
Right. Good point.
The main takeaway is this. Your blog needs a clear focus.
Which, again, goes back to knowing your audience. My rubber duck insights are probably not what those health nuts are looking for.
Probably not, no.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground here today. We talked about crafting awesome content, SEO, building a loyal following, even making money from it all. So for our listeners out there, those who are ready to conquer the blogging world, what's the big takeaway?
Blogging, it's a journey. It's got its ups and downs, but the beauty of it is you don't have to figure it all out alone. There are so many resources out there to help.
Totally. Like all those articles we've been talking about. And for those who maybe want everything in one place, might I suggest checking out blog.aspiration.marketing. They've got in-depth guides, expert advice, and they're always on top of the latest blogging strategies.
Absolutely. They're like that friend who always has all the best tips and tricks. So if you're feeling stuck, need some fresh ideas, or just want to take your blog to the next level, definitely go check it out.
They've got a ton of great info over there. And with that, folks, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of blogging. Remember, find your voice, share what you're passionate about, and don't be afraid to experiment. Thanks for listening.